Okay, I think we've got a few more people join now, so let's make a start. I'll try and move this out of the way. There we go. All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's RingUC webinar. We wanted to put this together because, like many businesses, we've encountered along the way throughout this really challenging time and lockdown period, that we've had to find new ways to pivot and also new ways to engage with our customers. And as we see the easing of restrictions around Australia and around the world as well, but particularly here, we've done really well to flatten that curve, and so we're seeing more and more opening of businesses, schools, and as we begin to return to some kind of normality, there's still going to be a level of restrictions in place that means that we need to engage differently with our customers. Some ways not, some ways will still be the same, but I really want to explore that today. So if I just go to my next slide, which is about who we are today. So today, your hosts are, my slide isn't working, sorry. One second. No. I forgot to do my prayer to the demo gods. Something I always used to do when I used to do the training was, please let the presentation work. So bear with me, people. I'm just going to get this to go to the next slide. No. I might just go out of this, stop sharing for a second, so you can see myself and the lovely Debbie Seklat that we have joining us today. Debbie is co-hosting today's webinar with me today, and we'll be covering all things engagement with customers. We've got a number of points and questions that we want to run through. For those of you that don't know me, I'll just give you a brief introduction. I run the RingUC business, which we set up after many years of working in telecommunications and real frustration at some of the larger providers around Australia who have delivered services and seem to take so long to delaying things, and we got really frustrated. And so we found a model where we believe we can really assist customers to do things using technology in new ways and really embracing what's out there for us to use that enable you to focus on your core business, which is your business, and allowing the technology to assist you. And so we chose to partner with RingCentral as the global leader in unified communications. And that's what we set the business up for. And we're really so proud to be a partner of RingCentral and be bringing it to businesses right around Australia, from small businesses all the way through to enterprise and government agencies around the country. And as part of that, we have partnered with New Tech Solutions and Debbie and her team over there, because they have exceptional delivery at training within that unified communication space. What I might do is hand over to Debbie, and she can do a much better introduction of herself than I can, I'm sure. So I'll pass over to you, Debbie.
Well, thanks, Justin. Hi, everybody. Yes, so New Tech Solutions has been in the IP telephony space for the last 17 years, which has now moved into the UC or Unified Communications space. We work with a lot of the big players out there and have done many thousands of implementations. And when with a lot going wrong, we often get called in to fix things up for customers, all their call flows and things like that, as well as deliver additional training and When RingCentral came to the party in Australia, we were very keen, once I saw the product, to get involved with RingCentral. And we're doing RingCentral training, and now very excited to be partnering with RingUC, so we can offer additional services as well, other than training to customers, to get them up and running really quickly and onto probably the best product, I think, that's out there at the moment.
Yeah, well said. I think that's great. And look, we're really happy to be partnering with you. You know, you've got a wealth of experience that you're able to share, not just across what RingCentral do, but where people have come from in the past, and so you know the key pain points. And look, we've put a program together, which I think we'll get to at the end of this presentation, which is we're super excited about, and I know you are, because you love helping customers. Everything you do see is about how the customer, rather than your business. It's lovely to see when we work with you how focused you are on your customers, and we've really embraced that and taken that so that we can help our customers also as they make that transition and migration. But I don't want to steal your thunder. Let's not get into that now. We'll talk towards that towards the end. We'll jump straight into, I think, the questions. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can get my slideshow to work now, which is for some reason choosing not to. So let me get back to this. Thanks for bearing with me, people, with my technical glitches. Here we go. Now, there we go. If I do that instead, everyone should be able to see that instead. And I'll do it that way instead of running it as a big slideshow. So not quite as big on the screen, but it works. It's what we have to do when the...
That's fine.
Okay. All right. So a little about today. We're going to try and keep this to under an hour because we're conscious of people's time and amount of time, FaceTime people are doing over RingCentral meetings and any video collaboration you're doing. We're very conscious of that. The key things that we want to cover off today is really around communication to those customers and how we go about that. Talking about our customers and communities as well, which we've seen grow more and more important over this entire lockdown period. We want to talk to you about the technology and how customers are making more and more use of that to engage with businesses and their customers alike. And then we've got some relevant offers that we want to share with you that we think are adding value to our customers already and potentially help yourselves as well. Okay. Debbie, do you have anything to add there?
No, that looks great. Yep.
Very good. All right. Well, look, I will get into this. My first sort of question was around letting how we let your customers know that you're going to be back open for business.
Yes. So our active social media channels such as LinkedIn, Instagram and Facebook, we've posted up there letting them know that we're getting back to our new normal, if you like. So also on our website, we'll be putting up some, you know, a scrolling banner just to make it look like we're ready to go. We're back in. We didn't stop business, but we're back in business as we used to be, or nearly. Yeah.
And I think that's an important distinguishing point you make, is that we've got there's a wide range of businesses across Australia that have completely shut down. And so their existing customers may know them as shut down. Some businesses may not have shut down, like yours. You've operated throughout this time and you've moved to a different model where you're, instead of training in person, you're doing everything remotely. I think it's still just as important to say that you're back in business, even though you haven't shut down. Certainly for us, that's what we're following, a similar vein to you, in that we're posting on the social media channels being LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, as well as our own website, and putting on a scrolling banner to say that we are open for business, and we'll be maintaining social distancing and guidelines wherever appropriate, but we'll be making a full effort to say we're back in business and getting ourselves out there. It's a really important one to let customers know, because there's so much change going on that it's difficult for customers to know otherwise. Yeah.
Yes.
My next question, Debbie, is around email subscriber lists. So many businesses have got a list that they've acquired over the years of customers that they email in their database. Is that still valuable today?
Absolutely. For new tech, it's very valuable. We don't go out to all our customers regularly, so we find that when we have something special to offer or something different that's going to allow them to take note of that we're around, and give us the opportunity to re-engage with them, we use our subscriber list. So we, prior to going into lockdown, we went out to our customers and let them know this is what's happening and this is how we'll be working. And now we're going back to let them know that as we're coming out of lockdown, this is how we're now going to be working. We will be able to do on-site training and things like that, obviously with you know, the social distancing and sanitary measures in place, but we will be able to offer both. So I find that going back using our subscriber lists, we get to re-engage with customers again.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and a similar story for us. We have a subscriber base that we've collated through social media, and we'll also be making use of our subscriber list to just keep them informed and communicate. And we've done it throughout the lockdown period to let customers know where we're at, what we're currently doing in terms of how we're managing our customer base. And we're in a very fortunate position because we've been able to manage everything remotely, much like you. There's the face-to-face is a really nice to have. You know, that human connection you get from being in a room with someone is very different. Yeah. And so having to manage outside that is what we've had to do, but it works, you know. We've and so utilizing these subscriber lists to just communicate to customers where we're at and exactly what we're going to be doing over the coming weeks has we've had some really interesting responses back from people as well. It's good to see that people are actually reading them. You know, you put an email out there and you don't always know whether it's been read, and so we've had some good feedback, which is nice.
Yeah, great.
My next question I'll move on to is around customer events and functions. We, like many businesses, have traditionally operated customer events and functions, whether they are a small scale, a handful of customers a day at the races, or a forum roundtable luncheon. Things like that have been a staple for our business for many years. I know the same is true for you as well, Debbie. What are you doing now what's your plans for resuming those type of events as we ease lockdown restrictions?
Sorry, we run a few face-to-face events for our customers throughout the year. We're very big on face-to-face. Now that we haven't been able to do face-to-face, we've done a couple of social webinar events with customers, kind of one-on-one, just to stay in touch and just keep it, social as well as work related. But looking forward to doing some more face-to-face, catch-ups and events in the future. At the moment, we haven't got anything planned, just with because we're national, and we go to different states, and we've got trainers and consultants in all different states. We like to work with all our customers around Australia. We haven't got anything planned yet because a lot of the borders are still closed. So, yeah, I like to get to all of these events as well. So we will, as soon as everything opens up, we will set up a couple of events around Australia just to welcome everybody back. Yeah.
I think we paused our plans as well, and we're starting to revisit how we do those functions, and it's going to be done differently because we'll need to stay within the guidelines, and once we do, it's one of those things where we'll try and keep it the numbers low to start with, so that we can test and see what works, and also we're also mindful that some customers may not want to engage. Some customers may still be reluctant to actually come and see face to face. As fears ease, then that may change. But in the meantime, we as I say, we paused our plans, but we'll now start to reopen those, much like you, to plan smaller events, sticking within the guidelines. And I guess one of the new additions in these events will be a bottle or two of hand sanitizer.
Correct.
Dotted around the room. That's becoming the new norm, isn't it? Seeing it absolutely everywhere.
Yeah. We like to do small giveaways as well. So we'll probably do hand sanitizer giveaways with New Tech Solutions on printed on the bottle.
Yeah.
Everyone can keep it in their pocket or bag or whatever. So everyone loves a giveaway. Yeah,
everyone loves it, particularly when the 30ml bottles were $20, I think, at the peak of the lockdown.
Yes.
They've come down a bit in price now, thankfully.
Yes, they have. Yes, good.
Yeah. Very good. All right, look, I'll jump into my next question, which is around supporting communities. So,
yes.
So, if I talk personally, from my perspective, working remotely, my family and I have been very conscious of the reduction in business, and so we've gone out into our community and spent in different cafes. Normally we go to one cafe all the time, and over this entire period we've gone, where should we go today? And we've gone to a different place each day and tried to share our money around, and the same applies then to how we spend money within business, so that we try and support other businesses in Australia that need to generate revenue. And so for us, we're looking at how we consider moving into the future, how we then continue to support those communities. How does that change now?
Sorry.
That's all right.
We're working from home.
Yeah, working from home.
Yes, the doorbell. There's a doorbell.
Yeah, the doorbell. And I'm surprised my dog or my 8-year-old hasn't walked in on the webinar so far today.
Right.
So look, how do you go about, or have you looked at how you'll consider supporting communities moving forward?
Look, New Tech has always supported various charities over the years. So once we get up and running again properly, at our face-to-face events, we'll incorporate fundraising as well.
Yeah,
so
nice.
We can continue to support those charities, or look at, supporting new charities. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because there's always others a lot worse off than we are. We've got to think of them. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And as purse strings tighten in business and community, often those places get forgotten because they're a charity. People perhaps restrict their giving, so it's really important that you maintain that. I think, Debbie, it's amazing. Really good. Just looking at conscious of time. Yep, we're on track, which is good. Okay, I'm going to move on to a next question now, which is around customer feedback. I mean, in our business, customer feedback is always critical anyway. Have you come across any feedback that has affected how you'll engage with customers differently now?
Yes, we have. You know, our business model has drastically changed, where we were 90% of our workshops and training sessions were all face-to-face. Now we're 100% being video calls and webinars. We moving back into post-COVID, we will run face-to-face where possible, but we have had feedback from customers who have no choice now, that when they did have a choice, they always preferred face-to-face, but they have come back and said, now that we've got video and people are now using video, because prior to this I found you jump on a call and everyone's turned their video off. Now everybody turns their video on. So it's a lot more engaging, obviously, when you've got video on and you can see and you can talk to somebody and see their facial expressions and so forth. So we have had some customers that have said that they're happy to stick with the video meetings rather than, you know, coming on site and doing face-to-face.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? It's because you're so right. In the past, you've jumped on a, you know, I know for me, I've jumped on teleconference calls at previous companies, and at least 80% of them are on just a name display, you know, and they've got the video turned off. Whereas now it's the other way around, and people are. It's much more engaging having this video dialogue where we can see people and actually have look in their eyes and see facial expressions, see what they mean. It's much better. Really
important. And it's good that customers have been forced to use video. So it's great.
Well, that's really interesting bit of feedback. We have had feedback around how we've engaged with customers over this period, in that they were surprised how we're able to assist with migrations, which is, you know, when we do this every day, it seems normal to us. But as we've engaged with businesses that aren't used to having that remote environment, they've said they were surprised how easily done, and that they were happy for that to be managed like that in the future. You know, that and much like you, some customers that do definitely want to return to that face-to-face, but there are other customers that are quite happy with it because it's allowing them to focus on their business. They can slot it into their schedule and they don't have to allocate more time for travel or setup or room establishment. People can get on with their day-to-day job and then step into a training session or an onboarding or an implementation as quickly as they would jump from one meeting to another. So it's been really interesting to see. Which sort of leads me into the next point, which is around how the cloud and technology uptake has been. You know, we've globally from everything I've read, and I read an article recently that said that Microsoft has seen 2 years of transformation occur over a 2-month period. It's a phenomenal acceleration that we've had to experience because of circumstance. And so because of this huge take up in technology and cloud solutions that really have allowed businesses and their employees to continue working remotely, we really want to have a think about how this impact will continue for engagement with our customers. What does that look like now that so many people have adopted cloud? Have you you experienced that and how that will impact your customers into the future?
Yes, so many have adopted cloud solutions. We're finding that they use a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of everything else, and often it doesn't work well together. The RingCentral Office cloud solution is an all-in-one. You've got everything that customers need to connect and communicate with each other, either one-on-one or if you're in a team, you can communicate with your team. Transforming and moving customers onto a solution, RingCentral solution, for your all-in-one is one of the areas that we're going to be working with.
Yeah, right.
With our customers that are kind of fed up with having a bit of this and a bit of that, and it all not working together, and then just going to their mobile and you know, it's just not working, and they can't get half a dozen people on a call and make a video and things like that. So an all-in-one, the RingCentral Office solution, really makes people feel as if they're in the office, they're connected, they can communicate, they can collaborate, they can, you know, and it's really easy and user-friendly to work with. So,
have you noticed, Debbie, when you've delivered training in the past, prior to this, that where you said, you know, people have things that don't work together, they don't integrate well together. Has that been a challenge for some?
Oh, huge companies? Problem, and it still is a huge problem. Yes, yeah. So
is that because they just people just don't use it if it doesn't work, or is it what's the main challenges that people come up with?
If something doesn't, we find that if something doesn't work straight up, then you've lost your customer, basically. Your end users don't want to and don't know how to try and make it work. So, you know, there needs to be, and there now is a solution out there that does work, and everything works together. And we're more now than ever have we been working with customers in the last 8 weeks that are very frustrated and aren't able to, you know, have their solution that they've currently got workable. Which
then impacts, you know, I guess there's twofold effect to that. If we think about it from a company perspective, it means that challenging communicating internally, but then, you know, the purpose of our webinar today around engaging with customers means that if it's not working internally, how are they meant to communicate with their customers? You know, it's really challenging. If you don't have something that works and people aren't prepared to make it work, then you begin to see people steering away from that engagement, which is their revenue. You know, we all as businesses need revenue, and we need to engage with our customers to generate that revenue. It is a hot topic, and I'm really, as you make the point, the RingCentral platform for us has been amazing because we obviously use it internally ourselves as well as promoting it with our customers, and to have everything on a single platform is just outstanding. It's from everything you've probably seen and I've experienced with technology and unified comms in the past that has claimed to be on one platform and claimed to work like this, and you get there and it's not,
and it doesn't.
It doesn't. And it's frustrating.
That's right. And you switch between screens, and
and customers know this as well. They're like, oh, it doesn't work, you know. So it's it's very, very refreshing, I have to say.
Yes.
I am going to jump into my last question really of today, and that is, do you think that offering customers an exclusive offer or content is going to be useful as a new way to reopen for business, or not reopen, but declare that you're open for business, and as we exit these tight lockdown restrictions.
Yes, I think well, as we've seen kind of with retail, you know, everyone's offering, they're coming back, they're opening up the stores. I think these special offers are really important. It gives you the opportunity to engage with your customers again, and so long as a special offer is something that that's going to be useful for them, I think it's really important that we come back with a special offer, which is what we're going to be doing with you guys.
It is. We are super excited about that. It's we you know, one of the, I guess before we jump into the next part, which is talking about the offer that we put together, we as a business and in conjunction with you spoke about how can we help customers even more, rather than just looking at this as an opportunity to, you know, just engage with them, but how can we actually deliver some more value on top of what we already do? And so ultimately we came up with for us, it was about identifying what our customers need, what their key pain points are, as with any dealing with any customer situation, what their key pain points are, and how we can now people are more open to the technology that we've been talking about, and the uptake in cloud and utilizing RingCentral platform, that we can actually make use of that and then get people working even better than they have done in the past, which is probably a nice segue to sort of lead into the program that we've put together in conjunction with you, Debbie. And that is well, let me hand over to you, so you can just talk about what we've done with you, and then we'll get into we'll get into the next slide, which talks about the special offer that we put together.
Okay, so we're working with you through RingCentral to deliver training to any of your RingCentral customers, which has been fantastic. Everyone finds the training really beneficial. We customise the training for each customer. You know, that there's end user training, admin training. So, you know, the training that they get is well, it's beneficial. You need training on, I feel you need training on any new system, so users are aware of all the different options available to them. So that's what we do with you currently for all your RingCentral customers.
Which is great, because you know, I know obviously you're one of the RingCentral accredited training partners to deliver training right around the country, and so we work with you already, and so we know that we know how the quality of your work and how well your people right around the country deliver their, even, you know, through this period they've been able to deliver it via video. It's been amazing, and we wanted to take that a step further. Trying to use the wrong controller here, and so we with you, in conjunction with you, put together this transformation care program, which we're super excited about, because we wanted to find new ways to engage with our customers, and this was one of the things that we put together we thought would be so valuable, where we see and we've all done this, where you go to a training, and training's great in corporate, and you go to the training, everyone's pumped and excited, and 2 weeks later you've kind of forgotten what that training was. And so what we wanted to do was with you is work out, listen to what you've experienced in the past, and say, how do we take that, everything you learn, but keep that train moving, keep it going, so that we're able to maintain a customer, rather than them fall back into the old ways of doing things. How do we keep them up to date so they actually really transform the way that they're doing things. Yeah, Debbie, over to you.
Yes, so yeah, we're really excited to be able to put this program together with RingUC. So we'll be working with customers who are moving from another platform onto the RingCentral office and also the contact centre, and just discussing with them, you know, right from the word go. So we'll be with them, and we will stay with them throughout their transformation and implementation. We'll provide the training, and then post implementation, where usually that we find that's kind of the end of where we're involved. We're sticking with our customers and your customers for an extra 8 weeks to run some conference calls or video calls, consultation sessions with key stakeholders, with executives, with technical teams, just to make sure that everything is running smoothly for them. It's a big change. Whatever change anybody makes is a big change, and it's really important for them to know that the relationships that we've built over the time, from when we've first started with them, with training, we have an understanding of their system, that we're there to support them after. So it's just not ringing support desks. It's being involved with the customer for an extra 8 weeks after their deployment.
Just bear with me 1 second. My co-worker, dog came into the room, and there's so I just shut the door. And it was really great that we have you with your wealth of experience to help us through this, because we were able to, in speaking with you, Debbie, understand the key pain points that customers experienced after their migration. So as the users drop off because they're just not used to it, or it's different to how they did it before. And so part of the building this, we actually, you know, as you know, we explored what makes it work, and how do we take them from that old way of doing things to the new way. And so that engagement over a period of weeks, where we have the members of their team involved in video calls, where they have their questions or challenges that they're facing and how they do things, that we can then begin to step them through each of those points and provide valuable snippets of information that help people use it properly. You know, it's not just the overall training, but it's those little pieces, those niggly things that people get to when they sit down in front of their computer and they said, I tried doing that, but it didn't quite work.
Yes.
And so being able to have you on board to provide that understanding, and then translate that into what that looks like as a program, so we can actually deliver that to each customer, so that we take them on that journey, has just been it's phenomenal. It's so helpful. And so the way that we're doing it is, as Debbie said, over an 8-week period following the implementation standard training. So that doesn't change. We still do the implementation, still do training. And then following that, what we'll be doing with Debbie and her team is having the first 2 weeks a call in the 1 call per week for the first 2 weeks, and then each fortnight thereafter for the following 6 weeks, so that we get an opportunity to actually empower the customer to do their own learning, to go and find it out, because that's, you know, as you know, working with things. Working with any software or any piece of equipment, you're going to bump into the challenges as you begin to use it. And we wanted to give the customers opportunity to do that, but still have a touch point through this transformation care program. We're super, as I said before, we're really proud to be able to do this with you, Debbie, because we know how well received you guys are with customers.
Yeah, we're really excited as well. Yeah, and you know, building the rapport with customers over the time, and even in the short time that we, you know, talk to them in training, to be able to spend time with them after as well, just to see that it all goes smoothly and iron out any little bits that need ironing out, which is always the case, we're super keen. Yes.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah, very exciting indeed.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to jump to the next slide now for questions, and I'm just going to open the chat part. There's a let's have a look here. Here we go.
Oh.
Chat. I am.
Okay, so I can see that we've had a question: when does a care program begin? Okay, so basically it begins now with us. So the next customer that comes on board with you with RingUC will be there to support and begin our
Brilliant.
transformation care program. Yeah.
Amazing. And at what point does the train? So let's say for argument's sake, Debbie, someone did the transition next week. They started on the Monday of next week, and it's a medium-sized organisation, so it's probably going to take 2 to 3 week period, would you say, for the initial implementation and training?
Yep. Yes. So for it to flow through RingCentral with the training request, we'll get through the training. You know, what we found is that training, the customers, they do an admin training and a couple of end user training sessions. Some go for more reporting training. We'll be in contact with them throughout the training, because that training often spans over 3 or 4 weeks even.
Yeah.
So we'll be in contact with them right from when we kind of start the training. We usually do admin first, so we'll be in contact with them to make sure that everything's going okay, and once the training is complete, then we'll start the scheduling the calls and putting the program into place.
Okay, great, fantastic. I cannot see any other questions.
Oh, okay. So there's another question I can see. Who do you get in contact with, and what's the process? So can I either get in contact with yourself at RingUC, or us or me, and we'll put it all back through, and we'll just start the conversation with the customer. And basically, when we've done the training through RingCentral, we'll work with the customer the customer to set up the calls and identify the people that need to be involved in the sessions.
Each of those sessions, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think as the first instance, if people are wanting to know how to get in contact, then you can email myself, which is justin@ringuc.com.au. So it's a fairly simple one, justin@ringuc.com.au. We do have the ability you can obviously reach out to us through the website. There's a form you can fill out on there, or you can come through and message me on LinkedIn. I'm also available on LinkedIn. Just drop me a line and we can get in contact with you and talk you through those elements, which is really simple. Debbie, I'm going to have to lean on you for chat questions, because I can't
see anything else that's come through.
Okay. Well, look, in that case, then what I might do is we've sort of come up at 45 minutes, which is great. It's really where I wanted to finish today at about that time. So I want to take the opportunity to thank everyone who's joined the call today. I really appreciate you coming on board and listening to what we have to share, and also extend a massive thank you to Debbie for joining as co-host today and getting involved in the webinar and sharing some of your insights and views that you've seen around this new engagement and how we're going to do things moving forward. It's been really, really valuable. So thank you so much, Debbie.
And thanks for inviting me. Yeah, we're really excited. The New Tech team's really excited to get this program into motion. So
yeah, brilliant, yeah. Fantastic.
Great.
Very good, very good. All right, well, look, we'll finish it, wrap it up here, and let everyone go and have an amazing day. And please reach out.